Serious, parents who regret having kids. Why? I feel like it has destroyed my marriage. Both of us have changed since our child was born, and I'm afraid the people we've become are not as compatible as the people we used to be. We never talk to each other. We never do anything together. And the very infrequent sex is basically her attempt to maintain her ability to claim she makes an effort in our relationship. Any communication that happens between us is about logistics regarding our child. I understand there is a brief period after birth where everyone needs to adjust, but it has been over 4 years now. I love my child more than anyone else on earth. Save for my wife. But I miss having a companion in life. If I had known it would be like this, I don't think I would have made the same decisions. I wasn't ready to stop being selfish. I'm only 2 years in, so it's still the intense stage. But parenting so far has just been relentlessly exhausting. I feel like having a kid closed off a lot of possibilities for me. Definitely killed any semblance of spontaneity in my life. All you need is a special needs kid to think something along the lines of, I wouldn't want him to die or anything. But if I could go back to before he was conceived, I'd do things differently. My daughter was born mentally disabled. I always tell myself it could be worse. That there are kids who just shake back and forth in wheelchairs. Thing is, she is happy now but has no concept of death, and I can only imagine what it will be like when her mother and I are gone. She will be institutionalized and abused probably. I love my boys more than I ever thought I could. However, it's Saturday night and I'm covered in baby vomit, with the baby refusing to sleep anywhere else but on me. He will wake about 3 times between now and when the toddler wakes at 6 AM. I'm carrying 20 kilograms more than I'm comfortable with and have no clothes that fit. I feel guilt for so many choices I make. There are times I regret having my second baby because it's so hard to juggle the needs of 2 and still find time for my needs. People tell me it will get easier, but for now, I'm hating it. It's not that I regret having her. But if I could wrap her in cotton wool and bubble wrap, put her in a cupboard for 10 years with the guarantee that I'll get the same child, then I without a doubt would. Parenthood is just not what I expected it to be. I mean, people told me that you have to make sacrifices when you become a parent, but because I had never really made any sacrifices before having her, I had no idea what that might entail or feel like. I also thought I wouldn't mind missing out on all the partying and holidays because I would have the ultimate gift, a child, but I have found that also to be untrue. I do mind missing out on the partying and holidays, and therefore I try to cram as much as that in as I can still, which makes my quality time with my child few and far between. Yes, I have her 5 nights a week. I feed her, bathe her, teach her, discipline her, put her to bed, but I mean proper quality time I feel she misses out on because sometimes I have no desire as I'd rather be elsewhere. I feel constantly guilty because I'm not putting my all in to be the best mummy I could be, how I imagined myself to be, and I feel she is missing out. Before I had her I always wanted 3 children. Now 1 is enough for me. I don't want any more. Like I said, I wouldn't use the word regret, but if I could have taken a glimpse into what parenthood really is like before I fell pregnant, I would have been a lot more careful. People can tell you, but nothing can really prepare you for what it is really like. It is a 24/7 hands down the toughest, most exhausting job ever. Got 2 kids. Both teenagers now. The eldest has anxiety and depression. Sometimes I wonder how my wife and I have managed to stay married through it all. We love both our kids more than anything. But having one with mental health issues is just exhausting. You start to anticipate the crazy as you're driving home from work. Almost nothing gets her out of her moods. And it weighs heavy on all the relationships in the household. She does therapy and meds, and they help some. But it's like she's just hell-bent on seeing the worst possible view of everything. So then you imagine the life that this person you love is likely to lead, given this tendency. And it's just depressing. It gets hard to maintain hope. Regret is a strong word. But if we could go back to when she was little and happy, and just stay there, it would be a lot better. I love my children more than anything else in this world. Words cannot describe the type of love I feel for them. But at the same time, I do regret having them. I regret being the person that I have become as a parent. I was always carefree and spur of the moment. Now I'm careful, and if plans aren't set in stone, they likely won't happen. I always said I would never have children. I hate kids, I do. I am just not that type of nurturing person. I was always very careful to make sure protection was in use, condoms, birth control, but I am that 0.1% and apparently very fertile. I do not have that natural motherly instinct that all women seem to have. You know, that one that kicks in the moment they know they're pregnant. I have to work really hard at it and it's exhausting. I miss my solitude and being able to check out of reality from time to time. With all that being said, there is not a thing I wouldn't do for my children. They will always be my babies. They are amazing little creatures. My boys play travel baseball and I wouldn't trade long nights at the ball fields for anything. Watching them play is one of the greatest joys in my life. Still, I often find myself wondering what life would be like without them. When we did the family history to see the chances of any defects, not only did he lie, to me his whole family did. All the ultrasounds were normal. So imagine my surprise when I hear, are her feet supposed to look like that? She has club feet and it's not easy. She needed full leg casts. And is still on braces. She is 1 and can't walk. On top of that, I was just informed she will be needing tendon surgery on her left foot. Only after this ordeal do I find out that his family has a history of disorders. Imagine blaming yourself for months. Thinking you could have done something different but it was not your fault. Dealing with her feet is a huge strain financially and emotionally. If you are planning on having a baby, always be truthful to your partner. I come from a broken up family and never wanted that for my kids. I wanted a full family with no step parents or split visitation. I'm now a single father of 2 who have different moms. I really wanted things to work but they just never did. My one kid has a mom who has now went 3 weeks without seeing him because she has refused to do an 8-hour drug class I paid for. My other son's mom is great though, and we do 50/50 outside of court, so that's nice. But I still wish things weren't this way. My regret isn't exactly having kids. It's having them with people I mistakenly thought were who I would be with the rest of my life. Some days it's hard not to regret it. I have a 6-year-old with severe ADHD, brain trauma at birth, and an autistic 4-year-old still in diapers. My wife is active military and I had to leave a very lucrative job to take care of them. I love them. But occasionally I have to chant that to remind myself that I do. I regret it because I'm miserable. Absolutely miserable. I feel like I got pressured into it by my wife. She wouldn't take no for an answer. Well, we got ducked on the first pregnancy and had twins. Had only been married a year-ish. After that my marriage went way past theater and just got worse. After a while it got better and then she wanted another kid. I still didn't want the first 2 but I gave in. Now we have 3. I'm even more miserable. I feel stuck and I can't please everyone. I work a shit ton so my wife has them most of the time. Whenever I discipline them she screams at me because I'm not doing it her way. I'm constantly belittled by her and always told I'm doing something wrong. I actually hate my life. I've contemplated offing myself a few times but would feel bad for doing that to my kids. Not my wife. My kids. I wake up every day hating myself, my life, and every ducking choice I've ever made. If I could go back in time I would beat the shit out of myself with a crowbar for even contemplating getting married. Literally would do anything to start over and be single forever. I'm only 25 but I never would have thought I would hate life this much when I was 18. I don't regret having my kids so much as keeping them. I feel badly that I'm their mother and my husband is their father. Because we've made some serious mistakes and they have had to deal with that. I was 17 when I had my oldest 2 twins, and I genuinely did not understand how much my brain was still changing and how unprepared I was and how unprepared I would remain. The first few years I felt like I really did pretty well, not even pretty well for a teen mom. I thought I was a pretty excellent mom overall. As I've gotten older and more self-aware, that has changed. This isn't a constant crushing feeling or anything. Just something that hurts from time to time and I try and deal. And again, I don't regret having them. I understand that I'm biased, but I truly believe that all 4 of them are wonderful people and the world is a much better place with them in it. But I regret not handing them over to someone who would have done a better job. Mother of a 19-month-old here. I so get this. I'm worn out and beat down by my life. I'm a single mother. If it weren't for my mom footing almost every bill in my life, my daughter and I would be homeless and starving. The basic facts. I can't work because childcare is $400 a week and I can't find a job that will make $400 a week doable. Working to put my kid in daycare and nothing else. Getting a job would deem me ineligible for cash assistance and food stamps, $1,200 no income limit, and the state wouldn't pay my childcare so I couldn't continue going to college full time. The $569 in cash I get from welfare is immediately gone paying CC bills and regular bills, usually left with a negative balance. My poor mother fills in the gaps. However, I will say my food stamps are enough to get us through the month. I feel so stuck in my cycle I'm in. I try so hard to get a good job. But despite experience and education, nobody thinks I'm good enough to answer phones for more than $16 an hour. In the Silicon Valley, that's the lowest livable wage. TLDR, I'm ducking broke. I have 3 kids and quite frequently wish I had 0. I never wanted kids and knew I wanted more from my life than dirty diapers and minivans. I was okay with the first 2, but the third really made me question everything again. This is not what I want to be doing with my life. I had my kids at such a young age, 15, 19, 24, that I don't stand a chance at doing anything significant with my life other than saying, hey, I raised 3 more humans. You're welcome. What an accomplishment. When my kids were young, Columbine happened. I realized that I had brought kids into a terrible world. I regretted it for a long time. Then they had heartbreak from young love. And I regretted it again. I hated that me wanting kids of my own caused those kids to hurt in a way I couldn't protect them from. But they've grown up to be happy, healthy, independent adults and I'm very proud of who they have become. I didn't realize that a maternal instinct is not universal. You know how you see parents in the delivery room and they are crying tears of joy? I felt nothing. Honestly. I could have left them at the hospital and it wouldn't have bothered me. I usually have no desire to spend time with them at all. I love them and have a strong sense of duty, I just don't enjoy them or want to do any of the things they do. However, I spent their whole lives going out of my way to care for them in every way a good mother should. My boys are well cared for and I am always here for them. But it feels very unnatural and fake and unenjoyable. It is a bit like a retail job you don't like where you put on a fake persona and slog through it the best you can. I don't get to leave this job. Though. The worst is how I'm demonized for it. I've done of everything I can for them for 16 years including all the extracurriculars. Kids baseball is agonizing to fake enjoy, I swear. And it has never been easy. Shouldn't I get more credit than those moms who love nothing more than spending time with their kids? That doesn't sound hard to me. Nope, I fail because I want my own life. I can pretty much echo everyone else's responses. It's even harder when you're a strong introvert. It's driven me into on again off again depression. I've been on medication since our first one was born. The second one was a stupid mistake. Plan B also didn't work. I've since got a vasectomy. Although I should have gotten one after the first was born. Stuck with an infant and a toddler now. I'm also a father who stays at home. So that comes with its own societal bullshit. I've been shopping at Target with my kid by myself and gotten comments like it's just weird seeing a dad doing the shopping. Go duck yourself. My life turned into a living hell when my oldest son was a teenager. He started using drugs at 14. He was arrested for breaking into cars at around the same age. Things continued to escalate and we had no control of him. We tried everything. He continued to use drugs. He sold drugs. The state of Florida has a law that the parents are responsible for the minor until the age of 18. He could not be emancipated because he was not financially independent and we couldn't afford to support him outside of our home. So we were forced to keep him in our home. It was 4 years of living hell. I had 2 breakdowns and our marriage was torn apart. He was a good kid until age 14. Smart in school. And neither my husband nor I used drugs. There's no guarantee how your kid will turn out. I came in here being excited that my time had come. I could share. Then started looking for my unique view to not be here. It is here. Everywhere. I started having kids early, accidentally, and love them. But stopped late. When I die, most of my life will have been spent raising kids and not doing fun stuff that I love. This thread is depressing. Late to the party, but hey ho. I was a mother of 3. The things that are often mentioned about lack of sleep, autonomy, money etc. are all valid. And they last much longer than you expect, and they can drive you to near suicide at times. Especially when the second comes along and you're still not getting nearly enough sleep, but now you have 2 on completely different schedules. But they do end. Eventually. But, and this is a big but, my biggest regret is my youngest. Because she died at age 6. She had a brain tumor which made her blind and adversely affected her behavior, and she consumed my time and energy completely. Her loss nearly destroyed our family. I would not know the pain that I still feel if she had not been born. And I would not experience the guilt of feeling that things, on a practical level anyway, are now easier without her.